Hello guys, my name is Eunice. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for always coming back, subscribing, watching my videos. I really appreciate. So today I'm somewhere, as you can see. I have guests here. But he is not new. Most of you know him. But
Fahmydangote.
Genau.
Yeah.
Fahmy, say hi to my people.
Hi, what's up my people? What's up Eunice people? And my name is Fahmydangote. I'm a YouTuber, I do vlogs, I do also streets and celebrity interviews. And yeah, today we are here in Starnberg and we're going to interview one of our Kenyan sister right here.
So before we introduce our guest, we want to thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming us to your home. Thank you for having time for us. We really appreciate and we love you. Maybe we don't say that most of the time, but we really love you. I love you. He's laughing.
I love you too.
Yes, yes. So please kindly introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and yes.
So my name is Frida Masharia, and I've been living in Germany for 32 years. I came to Germany in February of 1994.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's very long.
Yes, it is.
All right.
But
And
she really looks young, you know.
yeah, you look young.
So you tell us your secrets after this. The secret of, you know, remaining young.
She
and
look
looking
beautiful, young,
yes,
fresh
yes.
fish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very nice. What brought you to Germany in the first place?
I was working for a tour farm in Kenya, the Lago Tours and Safaris, and they're the ones who sent me here. They had company here in Germany, so they sent me to come and give the team support.
Wow. You know, that is so interesting to hear because most of the time people assume people came as au pairs, they got married, I don't know, but it is also
There's
nice to
a lot
hear.
of ways.
Yes, a lot of
Yeah.
ways, and that is good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not the usual way, one can say, but yeah, I appreciate it a lot.
Nice. So how would you describe your experience living in Germany so far? How has it been for you?
It has been good, but also challenging.
Yeah.
There's a lot to overcome. There's a lot to learn. I came to Germany not speaking the language. I had to first learn the language.
We know it's very difficult.
It was very difficult back in the days. Nowadays you can tell a difference. They even make announcements in trains in English. In 1994 there was nothing like that.
It was purely
It
German.
was German, completely German.
But before we go on, like, I just want to know on that year when you arrived here in Germany, that the people used to speak English that time, because I heard like people now they're speaking English more than before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Back in the days, not.
Really?
No.
No, but is
was
it like
very-
they couldn't speak in English or they did not want to speak in English?
I think
Or
they
what
did
do you
not
think?
want necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of changes also in Germany, you know, in the school education. Like now they do masters in English. So this is also why you find a lot of, at least the younger generation, speaking English.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time, even me when I came here, it was very difficult. So I understand when you say that when you arrived here for the first time. Okay.
But I have a question before we go on.
Yeah.
So how did you learn your excuse me, how did you learn German? Did you go to a school? Did they still have those VHS schools, or how was it?
I actually attended a private school and did an intensive course, 3 hours a day.
3 hours a day.
Every day. And by the end of 2 months, I was actually quite good.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nice.
You are currently living in Germany. What made you decide that it's time to return to Kenya?
I feel like there is more opportunity for me back in Kenya than there would be here in Germany. There's a lot of growth going on in Africa, a lot of opportunities, and that is actually what inspired me. But I do have my own private reasons, which I would almost say is like divine timing.
Yeah.
You know,
Alignment.
yeah, absolutely. Divine timing for me to go back. Yeah.
Was there a specific event or a moment that influenced your decision to go back home? Like,
Yes.
did you wake up one day and you were like, I want to go home, or was there a specific, if you don't mind sharing, of course?
I don't mind sharing. I went through divorce, and that was the moment of my decision. But little did I know that there was a wave that was taking place, unbeknownst to me, of a lot of people going back.
Yes.
But for me, it was purely private, where I decided, okay, now I'm going back home. Yeah.
Oh, correct, good. How long have you been thinking about moving back to Kenya?
It has now been, from the moment that I decided, it's been 6 years.
6 years?
Yes, I decided in 2020. That was also the year of my separation from my ex-husband. So I decided at that moment that I was going to go. And the last 6 years have seen me preparing for my going back.
So for these 6 years, it's just like you was preparing, but the decision that you have made it is like the same year that you have got divorced.
Yes.
And why did you did that, if I may ask you?
Why I decided to go back?
It's because of your, you said because of your private issues.
Yes.
Because of the divorce.
Because of the personal
So it's
reason.
only...
Yeah, personal reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also looking at my life, I mean, I worked in Germany.
So many years.
I worked for Lufthansa in the beginning of the years. And
That's
then
very nice.
I also worked in a private clinic.
Okay.
And then the last years I was working in the company of my husband. Or I was employed in the company of my husband. And I did not want to go back into the workforce in Germany. I wanted to go back home and do something for myself.
You want to be boss.
Yes. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. And home is home anyway. So how do you feel about leaving Germany after so many years? Like what
I have absolutely no regrets. My decision is resolute. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm grateful for the years I lived in Germany, everything I've learned, all the experiences I've had. But for me, it's the closure of a chapter. So I'm looking forward now to the new one. And with the challenges and the adventure of going back.
What excites you most about going back to Kenya?
It's about my people.
Your people, your culture.
Yeah, my culture, my relatives, generally the Kenyan people, you know. Kenya is a country. It's a different feeling being in Africa. It's a beautiful feeling being in Africa. That's what I've been missing here.
You mean you just miss the African vibes, we can say that in a street language.
Absolutely. That motivates me,
Okay.
Are there any fears or concerns you have about returning home?
Not really. I think maybe some of the concerns some people may have would be about healthcare, those kind of things.
Not working.
Yeah, but I'm not. I think, health has a lot to do with your nutrition, your lifestyle, So I'm not really, and I'm a very optimistic person. I try to look on the brighter side of life than the negative. So I actually do not even like dwelling in fear. Yeah.
What will you miss most about you when you lived already?
What will I miss about Germany? Probably some friends. My children are still going to be in Europe.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
My 2 sons are studying in Netherlands. My daughter has just done her A-levels. So she's yet to decide where she wants to go. So on the first place, or highest on the list is my children.
Yeah.
But otherwise nothing.
But you'll still be visiting, or what is your
I will
plan?
be visiting.
Okay.
I will be
After
visiting.
how
Maybe
long?
that's also the easier part of my transition.
Yeah.
That I'm not like closing the doors completely in Germany. So I will still be able to visit Germany. I have the German citizenship. So I'll still be visiting Germany. Yeah.
So what are your plans once you return home? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I intend to open a restaurant and run some Airbnb businesses, which are already actually established. So that's what I want to do. And look into other possibilities of investment in Africa, because Africa is growing. The economies in Africa are growing. And I always explain it as a tsunami which is building.
Yeah.
Probably it's already moving, and I want to catch it at the right moment and also ride it.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, which skills or experience from Germany do you hope to bring back to Kenya?
Mine are actually in my own personal growth. I've invested a lot in my personal growth. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm bringing like certificates from institutions, but I have done a lot of self-education, in hospitality. So this is why I want to venture into a restaurant. And of course, I could do some motivational speaking,
Oh yeah.
I think I could do that too.
That would be very great.
Or maybe you could even do counseling to young people or to people who are planning to relocate. Because sometimes I have a feeling most of us relocated without a plan, like without having done our due diligence, like knowing where am I going. Yes, I want to go to Europe in this case, but most of us did not even know what we were coming to or coming for,
Or even where to start.
Or even where to start, or how do you even go about this whole bureaucracy thing and all that. So
I would
having
gladly
people,
do that.
Yeah, so having people like you who have had the experience, lived the life and left the life, I think we need more people like you. So I hope you really
there are also
that.
some people like they just want to come in Europe, but they don't know anything about Europe, and they come here and
Get
end up
frustrated,
in they got a lot of problems,
Yeah.
It's very bad. Yeah.
Or people who come here, they graduated at home and then they come here, then they start from down there. I really pity such people, like if you're a graduate, maybe you're a medic or an engineer or whatever, and then you come here because you do not even know where to start. You end up starting
doing lower jobs.
Yeah, lower jobs, even going back to school. So I think, please do that.
Most importantly is actually having the language skills.
And the language, because
the
most
language
of them come without the
basic.
language.
Yeah. So before you venture into even coming into Germany, where yes, English is now a stronger second language, but the basic language is German. So you need to have that.
Yeah, because I think reality hits when you come here. You want to find a job and you cannot.
Yeah.
And I think they also have, in every country they do have a German language course.
Yeah.
I think that in Tanzania we do have, what do they call it? I think it's
Goethe Institute we have in Kenya.
Goethe Institute. We do have also
Tanzania,
in Kampala also they do have.
But there are also other language schools which are cheaper because Goethe is a bit expensive. So all we are saying or encouraging you, whoever wants to come to Europe, to Germany or to wherever, please learn the language.
Yeah.
That makes it easier.
But nowadays actually Germany is hiring qualified people. So you don't have to do like those lower jobs while you try to figure your way out. So if you come with skills, they are looking for people with qualifications, but languages.
Language is very important. This is what we are
The
talking
basic
about
one.
right now. Because sometimes you might come here and you might even get a problem, but you go somewhere, people doesn't know how to speak English, so it's going to be very, very hard for you to survive.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Before you find a dolmetscher, I don't know who it is way easier. Please learn your language. Yeah. So, Mr. Fahmy, do you have a question for Frida?
Of course, we do have a lot of questions for her. Beautiful lady in the house. Oh, okay. How do you think your life will change after moving back?
As I said, I am a very optimistic person. So I think in a very positive way. Very positive way, yeah.
I may ask more one question there, like, so you always think positive, you know,
Yeah.
but how do you deal with those people that they're always thinking negative things and Frida, do that, this might not work out.
Yeah, are you sure?
Like, are you sure you want to do this? You know,
I've met them already. I've met quite a few people who've been discouraging me, who've been planting the seed of doubt. But as I said, I'm very resolute, you know, like decided. I am grounded in what I believe. So I'm not tossed about by the winds that come.
End of the day, it's all about praying.
Yeah, you pray, and also positivity, like you said.
It is your faith, you
It
know.
is your faith,
I
your
believe
positivity,
in
your drive.
in the good that is coming.
Yeah.
It's like what I told you when I started doing social media. A lot of people, they just tell me, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah, so it's like that.
Naysayers
So
are always
I do
there.
understand.
They are always there,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I do understand when you say you're saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't scare me. I will bring them along.
They shouldn't.
You're strong.
I'll
They
convert them.
shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I had some, and we had some discussions. At the end of the day, they went like, "I'd love you to be talking to me more,"
See?
so they could believe in themselves more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest differences between life in Germany and Kenya? Because you've lived both. What is the biggest difference?
Yeah, in Kenya you have a lot of friendly people, but some things may be a little bit more chaotic. In Germany, it's very orderly.
Yeah.
If, for example, you go to the authorities, you need a document. If they tell you you'll get it in 6 weeks, you'll get it in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
In Kenya, it's less predictable. In Kenya, the weather is better. The people are more friendly. Maybe they cover up for all those shortcomings that way. So there is a very big difference, as in friendliness. And how do I say, it's hostility here and there. You also face it in Germany.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. I tend to see my life in Kenya in a way more positive way than here in Germany. And I always look also at Germans who have migrated to Kenya, who do not want to come.
They do not.
For any reason, never, ever
I've
again.
even seen them in Tanzania also. They don't.
They
do
do
not
not want to
They
come
have the
back
best
here.
life there.
In Kenya, we call them Kenya Kimbos.
And you know one more thing they tell me, in Africa people they don't have a lot of money but they're happy.
Yeah, happy people. But it's true. It's true. We are happy people.
It's just we are missing money in Africa, you know. Sometimes because I might say something like, you know, in Europe you might be in the train with somebody who have a lot of money and you don't have money, so it's like there is a balance. You understand what I mean? There's like
classes,
a balance. There's a lot of classes, but in Africa it's not very easy to meet with like a millionaire people. It's very hard.
In the train.
Yeah.
Maybe because we don't have more
No, in Africa, if you're a millionaire, you're in your private car.
Like you with your chauffeur.
Yeah. What lesson have you learned in Germany that could help Kenya develop?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline, timekeeping. Being reliable. As they say, the German Zuverlässigkeit. You know,
Das stimmt.
meaning you say what you mean and you mean what you say.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
But it's true.
Yeah. That's something we can learn.
It's true. And I also think, it was not my question, I think what I love about Germans, they are very honest. They can be very direct, but they are very honest. Like, if it's black, it will be black. If it's, you know, they'll tell you. They tell it to your face. I find that okay.
But don't you think sometimes they also do lie?
They're very honest
Probably.
when I like the thing is I find Germans very honest when they're dishing out.
Okay.
Turn the tables on them. They do not like when you are honest about their own shortcomings.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah.
Now coming to think about it.
They're very honest when dishing out.
When it's about you. Like, but
Yeah.
the moment the tables turn,
No, no.
no more honesty.
We don't like honesty then.
Then, I'm sorry.
You
I
know,
was wrong
sometimes
about that.
I don't know, have you ever experienced it? Like when you're gonna meet them anywhere, doesn't matter where, restaurant or everywhere, and starting conversation with you, they're going to ask, what are you doing here? They want to know a lot of things about you.
Yeah,
They are curious.
They're
It's
curious.
like, and then
they poke their noses
when you're gonna ask
into
them,
your privacy.
Yeah.
when you're gonna ask them a question, the same question that they have asked you, it's like they're going to do, I don't know, it's like they say, I don't have time. We're going to like,
They don't.
yeah,
They don't
you
want
know.
to talk about it.
And they feel entitled to ask you because they
Yeah,
feel
maybe
you
because
came to
they-
their country.
yes. So what are you doing here?
They
What
would
brought
probably
you here?
think you would be justified to ask them the same question if you met them in your own country of
Probably.
origin.
Yeah.
But if you're here, they feel entitled to ask you.
Is that
Does
possible?
that irritate you? How do you feel about that?
I think sometimes but I think sometimes it's like
It's too much.
no, it's like they want to know more about you. You know, this happened one time to me, and I've never knew it before. So I just experienced this 7 years ago. So from different people, not only one. You know, for the first time, like people when they was asking me, what are you doing in Germany? Like I didn't even realize. Okay, so the first person, the second one, the third one, I said, okay, fine, wait. So one day, I used to go to visit one of my friends and started to tell him what I experience here in Germany right now. So, and he told me, when they're gonna ask you those questions, then just try asking them back. And then you're gonna also experience what are they going to answer you back. So, since that day, I started to do that. And then they say, okay, so they can ask me like 20 questions, but if I'm going to ask them even 3 questions, they have no time. They're going away. I think that is very, very negative, you know. Since that day, when someone asks me, what are you doing in Germany? I say, okay, I'm coming from Africa and I came in Germany doing holidays. I'm here in vacation. Stop. Yeah.
That's it. Then they don't ask anything else.
Yeah. Because if you're gonna tell them your story, the question they're going to be like 20 questions, you know. This is what I have experienced, and sometimes I think it's, you know, I don't mind people asking me about my life, but when it comes, when I'm gonna ask you, why are you doing like this?
Shouldn't be a one-sided conversation. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about because I used to experience it a lot also at the beginning.
Yeah, you see,
at the beginning,
you know, but the first time when you come here, it's like you don't know
Nah,
everything,
being
you know.
honest. You know, I came.
Yeah, I used to get offended also. Until I started giving them answers like they asked me, how did you come to Germany?
Yeah.
I said by plane. I didn't walk. I didn't come by bus. I came by plane. And then they'll ask me, so why did you come to Germany?
Oh, wow.
And I would then tell them, why do you think people leave their countries? Like, you have a lot of Germans who migrated to the United States. Yeah, the majority of the white people in America are Germans. They have German descent. Why do you think they went there? And I say, we all have one thing in common when we leave countries. We're looking for a better life.
Yeah.
You know, this is very interesting question. Maybe you guys, you must ask yourself, like, if we're going to see European people in African countries, right? The first things when you're gonna see them there, the first things will come on your mind is, they're here for vacation.
True.
Really?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
And you won't
That's
think
our
like
mentality, yeah.
you won't think like negativities questions. You think you won't ask them like, "Hey, are you guys come here for our minerals or gold or something like that?" You know, in this direction.
Yeah.
You know?
The second thing we always think or they think is they're coming to help.
Yeah.
They are coming to rescue us,
Mhm.
literally.
They're coming to
Yeah.
save us.
To save us from poverty. And but like you said, it's a revolution. Things are changing.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop that. I think the only thing that has always annoyed me since day one, it is not the many questions from them, but it is the mere fact, just because I have a different color, skin color, they try to talk to me in English. That has always irritated me, and it happens until now. Like, I'm like, you can speak to me in German. If I cannot speak in German, I'll tell you. Like, don't come with your 2 words English, coming to talk to me, assuming clearly this one cannot be knowing our language. I think that has been my biggest problem so far.
If they come like that, I always tell them you can speak both. So
no, when they come like that, they ask me something in English, I answer in German.
And one more thing is like when these African people come in Europe, it doesn't matter where, they all think like all of African people, they come here for like they have bad life in Africa. But
which is not true.
For we Africans, when we saw them in African countries, we don't think like they do have bad life in Europe.
Because they could have been our criminals in Germany, then they ran away. It could be.
Or they're not rich.
Or they are not rich.
They're also poor people.
So they cannot.
Absolutely.
But they don't want to accept
here
that.
and all that. Yeah.
There are even those who make holidays in our countries who are way poorer than some of our African people.
Waiting for rent. Going with it to,
Let's go, madam. Let's go.
Good. So, what should people prepare for before making such a move? Like going back home or...
someone who wants to relocate needs to establish themselves back home. You have to have a source of income, a steady source of income.
Yeah.
That you will not be relying on anyone's help because there's no social welfare. Like in Germany. So you must first do your due diligence, prepare yourself, establish something which will be giving you your income before you make the move.
Like, don't wake up one day and decide like,
pack your bags and leave.
That's impossible.
Otherwise, you end up
coming back. But you know what I say sometimes? When push comes to shove and you're done, you're on your limit. Because lately, so many people are committing suicide here in Europe. People are killing themselves because they have depression and all that. I think for me, when it comes to that part, like, I do not know what to do anymore. I think in such a moment, I would not care whether I've invested back home. I would just pack my bags and go back home. Before I start sleeping on the streets, before I start taking drugs, because I cannot bear it anymore. I think East-West home is the best.
What you do have here is actually the social welfare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this supports people who cannot afford their own, livelihoods. So the likelihood that you end up on the streets is many times by choice, at least in Germany. It's not like in the US.
Yeah.
In the US, if you lose your job, you lose your house, you end up in the streets. In Germany, there are ways, through the social welfare. So unless you are involved with drug abuse, alcohol abuse, there are ways in Germany you can still have your own little apartment. You can still go for some meals, get food. They provide people with food everywhere in Germany.
I think with that I meant, life can be very lonely here. And many people fall easily into depression. Like most people they have depression. Like when it comes to that point of, sometimes in life we have phases where you feel like your life is not moving. And I think it is a human thing to do, like comparing yourselves with others, they are doing this, they are doing, I'm still stagnant and all that. And people, most people fall into depression. Like when it comes to that point where you do not know what to do anymore before you go committing suicide, which is happening unfortunately too much lately, just pack your bags and go home. I think when you're home, you can figure that out. That is my
Well,
sense
that's,
of
it's your maybe solution.
Yeah.
I tend to think that wherever you go, you're going to take that problem with you. So the solution is actually going within yourself. And
Touching
you've said
yourself.
it, comparing, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
We are all so unique, like our fingerprints. And there is nothing about, because someone has achieved, you've not achieved. Now, this is my motto and what keeps me going in my life.
Yeah.
It is about spiritual principles, that your kingdom is within yourself. All your desires are within yourself. And it only depends on you and your alignment with them to be able to bring it forth. So the success or the failure of someone else does not influence you. Just because someone else fails doesn't mean that you've succeeded.
Yeah.
And just because someone else succeeded doesn't mean that you failed. Yeah. So this is actually based on spiritual principles and understanding them.
Yeah.
And the universal laws that govern the universe and our lives. So once you get to know that, then you know if you do not solve the problem here, you go to Kenya.
It doesn't matter where
take
you
it with
go.
you. Yeah, because it's within yourself.
Oh God, this woman is full of wisdom.
But
I feel bad she's going back home.
Well, you can still reach me.
Yeah.
you compared yourself with other people in
No.
In any way.
No, I do not. I think I learned, and I even teach my children that. I've always told my children that you should never compare yourself with anyone. And even this principle of envy. Envy, in my opinion, it comes from when I started looking at other people. And you should not be looking at other people, look inside.
Yeah.
You know, take your eyes into the inside of yourself, because everything starts from within you.
Yeah.
And reflects on the outside.
Is it affecting someone when you compared with someone else? Like, I mean, when you're going to compare with someone else, it's like it's affecting someone, or like how?
It either only affects you. The only place you can compare yourself, I think, is when you're doing like sports. Yeah, when you're racing, you know, like 100 meters, then you can compare yourself, because in that case, it's either you're better than the other person, but there is still, even within those people who do not necessarily come first, second, and third, there's still people who celebrate success.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even when the world record, for example, is broken, there's someone behind who celebrates their best time. So success, in my opinion, is defined in many different ways.
You've reminded me of World Cup is going on now, and then Germany was playing against Curacao, and then when Germany they scored 7 goals, and Curacao just scored 1 goal, and those people were happy. You'd have seen them celebrating, like
only
even
after
goal. The match ended, like they were so happy, and that kind of opened something in me. Like I was like, that opened my eyes. Like you do not have to win to celebrate. You know, even the small wins, they matter a lot, because those people are happy. Like happy, they were genuinely happy. They were even screaming more than the Germans.
Let me ask you this, right?
Yeah.
You know, in our life, we do face a lot of challenges, a lot of stress. So when you're going through a lot, how do you handle stress?
I identify, first of all, what is the cause of that stress? What is stressing me? Because sometimes it is just a question of perspective, how you're looking at things, what are your expectations? Sometimes you get stressed by the expectations of others. Yeah. So I actually first identify what is causing the stress. In fact, if I'm running out of time, which I cannot influence and I cannot pull back, then in that case, I'll get stressed, right? Because I'm trying to catch up. So how do I avoid that? If it's in my ability or in my capability, not ability, capability, then I'm going to plan ahead. Make sure that, I'm within the time so I can be able to, get to my destination or whatever. It depends on what kind of stress you would define. What stresses you? What kind of stress are you talking about?
Right. Well, what time is the best time to analyze your stress? When you're in the bed?
In the morning.
In the morning. I mean,
In the morning, we are told, according to these universal laws, our power lies in the few minutes before we fall asleep and in the few minutes after we wake up. Because our brain goes into a reset. Yeah, when we sleep, there's a reset in our brain. So a new day actually means your brain is like thinking, this is your new life, a new day.
So you'll be just wake up in the morning and you're still on your bed and okay, what this?
What you're supposed to do, and I even talk with my children about this, is first of all, give yourself time in the morning, not just the alarm goes off and you're dashing out, you're running.
Like me.
Now, that's how you get into stress.
See?
That's how you get into stress.
Yeah.
I've even heard from some people, a couple of billionaires, who talk about waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Billionaires wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's true.
They do their...
And we? You wake up
They
quarter to 8 and you're supposed to be at work at...
So they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. They have time for their sports. They have time for their meditation. They have time for their morning coffee. Because they know the moment 6 o'clock hits, that's when their day starts. They're already on their way to the office or wherever they're going. So you don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you can give yourself that time where you wake up and then you enjoy your morning hours. Just even if it's half an hour or 1 hour of no stress.
Do you do sport?
Yes.
Do you do sports?
I do a lot of sports. When I do my vlogs, that is enough sport that I'm doing.
You do physical,
Okay.
physical
We
strength.
meant, not just...
No,
GoPro.
okay. Well,
You should start doing your sports.
which kind of sports you like to? Can you convince me?
You
or
should
advise
find
me?
out what you like.
Fitness.
Yes.
Which kind of fitness? There's a lot of fitness.
Go to the gym, play football.
You don't even have to go to the gym. You can even do push-ups.
Yeah.
Start by doing push-ups.
Beautiful ladies.
Planks.
Beautiful ladies like the way I am.
Then you're good to go. If you're doing it for the ladies, cheers to you and your ladies.
Yes.
Well, all right, let's go.
Do you think more Kenyans abroad should consider investing and settling back in Kenya?
Absolutely. Because the future is in Africa.
Yes.
You believe that?
I don't believe it is.
Don't you know that?
It is as sure as the
A,
day.
B, C, D.
Yeah.
We asking her.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you don't know that.
The future is
Where
in
do you come
Africa.
from?
I want to hear from her.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you why the future is in
Yeah,
Africa.
tell us why.
Africa has the youngest population in the world. That's already a future, right?
Did you do research?
Excuse me?
You did research already.
Yeah, I mean, this is something everyone is talking about. Africa has the youngest population in Africa. I mean, in the world, in the globe, right? And with that said, obviously, it means that the future is where the young population is. So Africa has or is the richest continent on earth with resources,
Yeah.
right? And with these young people and with the lesser exploitation of Africa, once we get our act together, and I can surely say that this generation and the future generations, at least what we're calling the Gen Z, the young population, the youth of Africa right now, they're fully aware of what is going on, the neocolonialism that has been exploiting the resources of Africa, that have been benefiting other nations while Africans were living in poverty. So, and this young generation is fully aware, they're educated, they know what wealth their continent holds. So, with the right governance and with the right education, they will take hold of that, and that's where the future is. Europe, you look at Western nations, whether it's Europe, USA, Japan, China even, the population is growing older and older and declining. The population is in these nations is declining. So obviously the future is in Africa.
Are you a Gen Z?
You're a
Next
millennial.
question.
If you could describe your journey in Germany.
But we are backing them.
Yeah.
So,
But millennials are actually counted into the Gen Z as well.
you hear that?
Really?
So you also belong to that.
Just because you're a Gen Z, you think here.
I'm a Gen Z, of course. Of new generation. What do you think? Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you could describe your journey in Germany in 3 words, what would they be?
Challenging, learning, growth.
Very nice. What message would you like to share with young Kenyans living abroad?
Not only Kenyans.
The young Africans living abroad. Sorry.
Prepare yourselves to transition back into mother continent, because that's where the future is.
Yeah, but there are some Gen Z say, I'm in my 20s, so I have to enjoy, party, and do everything.
Well, time flies, and 20 years later is going to come very soon. You're 20 today, tomorrow you're 40. Then you're now reflecting. What have you done with your earnings? So
That's very
eat
interesting.
some, save some,
Yeah.
invest.
In investing, there's one of the most challenge that people always face. People, they want to invest back to home, right, in Africa. But there are some people in Africa, they're also going to eat this money. So,
Well, yeah. The thing is, in an era where we have digital money,
Yeah.
you no longer depend on anyone taking your money back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have like a rental, you can make agreements with your tenants that they pay you through digital money. So
you
No.
don't have to
No. I mean,
fight with your
before
relatives.
before you are in that situation, it's like, I think you want to build a house or to build a hotel, or it doesn't matter which kind of business you want to do there, but you are sending money back for that people that you are sending money to. The thing here, like, you are getting from trees,
Money or what?
and I've heard this, it's very seriously,
Does that happen in Tanzania as well?
not only in
Because it
Tanzania,
happens a lot in
it
Kenya.
happened
everywhere.
Yeah.
That is
It has happened,
everywhere.
especially in the past, but like in Kenya, we have now organizations that are
Oh yeah.
you can work together with that are helping people from diaspora to invest back home, so you don't have to do it through your relatives.
Yeah.
So it's purely professional.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, we have organizations that are working together with people in the diaspora.
Okay.
So
Because
you
there
can
is a,
bypass
They are
the-
safe.
there is a
and
lot of people
all
that they
yeah.
want to invest back home, but they do have like not only bad family members, but also bad friends, and So the money's gone, and you're going back in Africa.
So
There's
it would
nothing,
be,
you know.
it would be maybe a possibility for you to come in Kenya, check into these companies who are doing that, and introduce something new in Tanzania.
Tanzania, yeah.
Well, we're going to do our African tour, East
Yeah.
African and
Yeah.
the whole African tour for our vlogs, and we have to go in Kenya and
I
experience
know,
it.
I know.
In
a
Kenya, it's
few-
working very well.
Oh yes,
It's
I can
working
attest to that.
very, very well.
Yeah, yeah.
Where people in diaspora are now going through,
No,
straight ways.
I've asked
and
you this
investment.
question because it's very important for the people that they are watching this video right now. There are some people, they want to invest back in Africa and say, okay, I just want to stay 10 years. After 10 years, I'm going back home. But when they invest, it's like, okay, I'm building you a beautiful house for you. You just send money, and then you're taking picture.
From the
From somewhere
neighbors.
else.
And then, someone even, he used to send to his own mother. And the mother used to eat that money. And the guy went back, the guy went back in Africa. He flew one time in Africa and then said like, but he was already,
Waiting to see
he was already knew that something is not going,
something is fishy.
it's not going in a right way. So he heard from someone, I don't know where. So he said, okay, I'm going to fly to Tanzania, and then, okay, I just want to see how
for
the
myself.
thing's going, He
That's
went
also
there.
very important. If you're investing back home,
Yeah, don't just
you have to
send money
make
home.
sure that you're also going sometime to go and check.
Yeah.
Not just stay 10 years.
So sometimes
Sending
there's
money.
these people that they don't have papers to fly back home,
True. Yeah. if
So
you're
that is also a
here
big
illegally
challenge,
or whatever. Yeah.
It's happening. I've seen a lot of. The money is gone. Then it's okay. 10 years money is gone.
What
What should I do now?
Yeah.
Where do I start? So they just ending up having everything here. I don't want to go back in Africa. They start hating Africa. They start, And you say, when are you going to fly back in Africa? I say, no, I'm not. I'm not going to fly there.
But they have heard of so many cases, such cases of people who decided, I'm living here, my life is here, because you cannot trust the family, your family members.
Imagine you have worked like
Yeah,
maybe,
I've heard also some,
like you have just sent maybe, I don't know, whatever, but it's just a big money. And then imagine waking up 5 or 6 o'clock early in the morning in winter time. You're going to work, you're sending money back home, and then someone going to eat your money. It's very like, let me just leave this.
This is something I can't now help, because it's an area that I don't have any solution about, But again, if you're coming abroad, maybe it would make sense before leaving, you establish something back home, like an account, bank account, for example, where you'll be paying your money into.
No one
It's not the
touches.
best. It's not also the best way
Safest,
of keeping your money. Putting money in the bank is not necessarily.
I know what you mean. So it depends.
In Kenya, we have, for example, I don't know about Tanzania, but we have SACCOs.
Yeah.
You find a good SACCO in Kenya, and you be
Invest
saving your
money.
money with a SACCO. Don't tell anyone or give your money to a relative to invest for you or to build for you. That simply won't work. In many cases, it won't. But if you're putting your money like in these SACCOs, and you go, then when you're ready, you can get a loan from them. You can invest. You can be able to pay back your loan. Everything's clean. The reason why I say SACCO is because of the low interest rate that they give for loans.
Looking ahead, what are your hopes for your future in Kenya?
Good time. Good time in success. Spending time with my relatives, traveling in my country. I love going to the African bush. I miss going to lodges when I'm here. One of the things I miss about Kenya is going to the African.
You miss
safari.
also Kenyan food.
I can cook.
Do Eunice,
I can
you
cook Kenyan food.
Yeah, you cook here, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, not necessarily. But the whole atmosphere, especially in lodges. This is what I miss.
Yeah.
Waking up in an African lodge, the smell, the noises.
Watching sunsets.
It's Jurassic Park.
And whatever. Oh,
Everything,
yeah.
So you mean everything that you just want to do right now is a fresh.
Going home.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Which food you going to miss from
Fresh
Germany?
food. Yeah. Interesting, yeah.
Maybe sometimes Weisswurst, but the Germans will also provide Weisswurst in Kenya.
Do they have German restaurant there?
Weisswurst. Maybe Oktoberfest, but I'll be coming.
For Oktoberfest.
I'll be coming to the Oktoberfest.
Radler.
I can make myself. You just need to take Tasca if you want a Radler in Kenya. And put some Sprite. That's it.
And you have your Radler.
Yeah.
A young lady from Kenya.
After spending so many years in Germany, why do you believe Kenya is the place you want to call home again?
It has always been. Home has always been within me.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I've always been a Kenyan. I never stopped being Kenyan even while I was in Germany. So I'm not going to call Kenya home again. Kenya has always been home.
I like that. I like that.
There is something I'd love to say here.
Yeah.
And we talk about it sometimes. There's a difference between flying back to Kenya using Kenya Airways and using, like the Gulf Airlines. If you fly Kenya Airways and we land in JKIA,
Oh God, yeah.
the cabin crew, the one making us announcements, always says, welcome ladies and gentlemen, we've reached Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. For those visitors coming to Kenya, we welcome you. And for Kenyans coming back home and residents, karibuni nyumbani.
And you're like,
Karibuni nyumbani. That it makes most Kenyans become emotional when we hear that.
Yeah.
Because nyumbani is home, and that's Kenya. I love it, especially when we're now landing, we're approaching JKA, and I'm seeing, it's so exciting. Yeah.
If you go back to your 20s, what would you do different?
I think I would learn some very practical jobs. Yeah, I would go for some very practical courses. Like right now in my the area that I want to venture into, when it comes to restaurant, I love baking. I would go for those kind of courses, baking or chef or those kind of things. Because right now I work with professional chef, and waiters and all that kind of thing. So
I'm a chef too.
He's a chef.
really
Take him with you.
Oh, what cuisine? Which cuisine have you been doing? International or Italian? Or?
No, German.
German?
Dish, yeah.
So
But
if you need a chef, just
the
contact.
the vocational training is very hard. You have to give 100%,
Yeah, I can imagine. But I would.
You was there.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Why not? Well, I ventured into working in a restaurant, and I went into the kitchen because I wanted to see how it works. Because, in my opinion, the kitchen is the cockpit of a restaurant. So I wasn't interested in service and all that. Even though even that one is a profession that you need to be able to, be fit into. You just can't go asking people what they want to drink and what they want to eat, and then 2 steps you've forgotten what they wanted.
Oh, you
it also takes, and you can't even carry. It also needs some training, but being a chef needs a lot more. It demands a lot more.
Well, 3 things. If you are not chef or chefing, German word. Chef.
Well, that's a box.
Yeah.
Koch.
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 Genau.
And
Koch. Köchin.
Köchin.
Genau.
Koch, Köchin. Chef, Chefin. Well, Frida she's a president of Republic of Kenya. 3 things you're going to change.
Oh.
First of all,
For your people, for your citizens.
I would make sure that our resources are not being stolen. Exactly like Ibrahim Traore is doing. I'm a great fan of Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Absolutely. I think that's one of the basic things Africans need to do.
Yeah.
We simply need to protect that which God gave us, our God-given wealth. Because without the African wealth, the Western world would not be existing either. It would not have developed. They have been exploiting the African resources for their own good and for their own people. So first of all, that's the main thing that any good African leader has to do. Easier maybe said than done. Yeah, because the moment you're like that, we can see how many attempts of assassinations have been exercised on Ibrahim Traore. He's the most wanted African leader. We do not want to venture into that, saying, but we know Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, they're good examples of all African leaders who wanted to do good for their own people.
Magufuli.
Who wanted their own people to benefit from their own resources. They didn't leave. So the next thing would be, of course, education. The education we have right now in Africa is what colonialists brought us.
What do you mean when you say that?
The education in Africa is still from colonialists. So we need to have integrating African education that benefits us as African people, taking into account our own values. Our own values, it's very important. In a more practical way than just theory, where children or students are just getting information coming out and you regurgitate it, as I call it. You take in stale information, you bring it out, and you move on. So
You graduate.
Yeah. For example, let's talk about this. I was watching something. In countries where we have mines, like in South Africa, why don't they have a part of the faculty of education about mining? They're bringing German engineers to come and mine into South Africa. How many?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. What we would change? I would change in education in Africa. Most Africans do not know about our great history. The great civilizations in Africa. This has been excluded in our education. We had civilizations from the ancient Egyptian civilization. We had other kingdoms. In West Africa we had kingdoms, and a lot of museums in Europe have artifacts from Africa.
Especially
so that if they would give us back, and they are, because Africa has begun demanding the artifacts that they have in their museums, that they have earned billions and trillions, if not, of euros and dollars with. I usually say, once they give us back our artifacts, they're only going to have horseshoes in their museums.
It's true.
And of course, they'll have things about their industrialization, because their history is actually a very short one. But when it comes to the beginning of civilization, it all began where life began, and that is Africa. And this is a part of education that every African child should know about. So that it can build also our own self-esteem as well.
Yeah.
Self-awareness. Yeah. So I find that to be very, very important that we introduce that. And also, part of the education that I would also change is about neocolonialism. Understanding the ongoing exploitation in spite what we call independence, but it is not real independence.
Yeah.
We're still dependent. We're still controlled by the colonial masters. So this definitely needs to be changed. And once we educate our children in a very confident way, then that is definitely going to bring change. And it's going to bring very uncomfortable change or changes for some people. Colonial masters, of course, in the first place. That's what I would change.
Food.
So education?
Of course, food. Valuing also our food. Embracing our culture. And part of it is also the food that we eat. Yeah. Because I definitely do believe a lot of diseases that we're now seeing today, a widespread of cancer, it is all coming from also the nutrition that our people are having or taking. It's not agreeable with the body of the Africans.
It's true. Like growing up, we grew up taking breakfast, like sweet potatoes for breakfast, taking bananas for breakfast,
Arrowroots
and all that. And now we think, and now that I'm an adult, when I think about it, I find it totally wrong, yeah? Like when you think you have money, that is when you can afford bread and all that, and you think
bacon.
eating bread and bacon and sausages is, living the life where you're actually finishing your life,
Yes.
Yeah.
But how do you feel yourself? Like you see, you're going to vote for someone, and then his or her son or child, doesn't matter, when she or he sick, is going back. He's going to fly to India.
To India, to Europe for treatment.
And for your child, he's going to get treatment in Kenya, which is also not good treatment.
You know what I always say, because I worked in a clinic here in Germany, and it was a private clinic, so I did witness some of those African politicians come in or their family members. I always say, the moment they come here, they are just the end word for those people. They do not get treated as celebrities or, whoever, the prominent people. No, they don't get that treatment. They get treated in the same way we would get treated.
But why do you think they opt to go to India or come to Europe and not go in this, like in Kenyatta or...
Because they've not understood the importance of building their own hospitals like Gaddafi did.
Yeah.
Muammar al-Gaddafi, he built good hospitals in Libya. And only if the medical care was not capable enough to treat the people in Libya, they would pay for them to go abroad. But the better hospitals we make, especially for those politicians, if then they go to those hospitals within their own countries, they will get that treatment of, oh, this is a politician, Mheshimiwa, whatever, like honorable, whoever they are. But in Western countries or in India where they go, they're just nobodies. That's something they don't realize and they don't talk about. But it's the reality of the ground.
Yeah. So
it serves them right, if I may say.
What is your take or what are your thoughts about the Ebola quarantine being built now in Kenya? What are your thoughts?
I'm absolutely against it. How can Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary for, Foreign Affairs, say that he's prioritizing the US people and not allowing Ebola to come into their country. And we in Kenya, our president is telling them, bring them. How? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. Our president should be also prioritizing Kenyans.
But they say they are prioritizing Kenyans. That is why they are building the quarantine in the air base, because if we get Ebola now, we can
No, you
also
will.
get
When
treated.
since when do we go into the American base, military base? Since when
Maybe this will be
did
the first
Kenyans
time.
ever get access into American base? In
That's a good
any
question.
country where Americans have had a base, that is considered to be U.S. territory
True.
within the country where they are. So since when is it that a common Kenyan is going to get treated there? It doesn't make any sense.
At least that is what they said. But that
Well,
remains to be seen.
The best solution would have been to build that quarantine in DRC. If Americans
Yeah,
don't
the
want to have
hotspot
infected
of Ebola.
Americans going into their country, let them build the quarantine within the place where the outbreak is,
Yeah.
and not take it to another country.
True.
But what do you think when you meant like we don't have those rules in our African country? If you are a leader from, it doesn't matter which political party are you, but like if you are doing wrong, then you're going out very quickly. Why don't we have that in Africa?
Removing those people
Yeah.
out of power,
Yeah.
it all comes from it all comes
Because
from,
we do see that here it's happening most of the time in Europe, but we don't see that in Africa.
in Africa we have what we call political recycling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we've had that in the past, where we had leaders being in this party, making a mess in that party, going to the other party, grounding their own, you know,
Yeah.
and they're all remaining in the same place, but there is change coming. And nowadays what I'm saying is we need to look at Africa in the same way you would look at a small child, a toddler. You know, when a toddler is growing and they're making mistakes and they're discovering, Africa is in this new era where we are, because as I said, we had a past of where our ancestors had great achievements and civilizations, and then we were conquered, or they were conquered, and we lost this legacy, and they were dispersed, and everything was looted and taken out, you know, by the conquerors. And so now we're finding ourselves anew, so that the African nations post-colonial period are young nations. In the same way we treat a small child who's growing, is the same way that we should deal with our issues. You know, not demand, a child of 2 years should now run like Usain Bolt, excuse me. No, it's not possible.
No, I'm sorry, Kipchoge.
Yeah, or Eliud Kipchoge. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But when you look at how rapid Africa has been growing, these are some of the things we need to take into account and appreciate.
Yeah.
While we know very well we have issues that we need to deal with, and we're getting there. We are getting there. I'm very optimistic about
Are we developing very fast, or what do you see?
Yeah,
Really?
absolutely. Yeah. In terms of technology, yeah, Africa is really developing fast. I'll tell you an example. When M-Pesa was introduced in Kenya,
Yeah.
I don't even know when it was, but I remember at least in 2010, I was coming here back to Germany after holidays in Kenya, and I would tell Germans, you know, in my circle about how Kenyans were able to send money from one telephone to the other, and they would look at me like, what are you talking about? They knew nothing about that. When M-Pesa was long developed, Apple Pay was nowhere to be seen. So, yes, and we also have some technologies where what do you call them? Farmers are able to detect like the right time to plant, or the conditions, the favorable conditions, they're using their mobile phones. The use of the mobile phone in at least countries like Kenya is way more advanced than it is in Western nations. Many Western nations, they have no idea about it. So
we are developing.
yeah, Africa is developing.
Let's talk
very
about
fast.
this. What do you see, like, if something is destroyed in Africa and they're going to repair it or to fix it, and then in some time, maybe like 1 year later, the same things is
broken.
gone. Yeah. Like
Something
we don't
like-
do on those qualities that, okay, we're going to use this in 20, 30 years.
Well, you can look at China, for example. I mean, China has become a world superpower, and while people were laughing about the quality of China, China was making cheap stuff that was always breaking, and people knew it, and they would still buy from.
them, yeah.
You buy from China. There's a difference between buying something from China and buying from Germany. Even though now we have labels of made in Germany, but it was also produced in China. But under the conditions, of and quality of what Germans, consider to be made in Germany. But the production is actually
In
China.
China.
So it is higher quality than the mainstream products you would normally get in China. So when it comes to Africa, it's the same thing. It's like taking where China began, that's where we are.
Yeah.
So we take it with a pinch of humor,
Yeah. And we're
it's-
getting there.
We're getting there. It's cheaper in production, and the lifespan is also very short.
Like Simon Makondas.
Yeah. He was born on a Monday and died on a Sunday.
Died on
Oh no,
Sunday.
when was it? Saturday, and he was buried on Sunday.
Yeah.
Favorite?
Yeah.
Well, home is home. I would definitely say that. But if it comes to development and what's happening in the country, it's Burkina Faso. Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving not just the spirit of their leader, Ibrahim Traore, but also of the people themselves, how much they're volunteering and how much they're building in and investing, even if they don't invest with money, they invest in their own time and labor, in building their country right now. That's really good.
Third one.
The third country,
Yeah.
best country,
That you most like.
also the same thing. Like Rwandese have one day in Kigali where they all go out and clean. Yeah.
I didn't know about
They
that.
volunteer. They volunteer to clean their streets.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's very clean. And they don't just litter anyhow. Yeah.
So, last small things. Do you have anything you want to say?
I think I'm curious. Yeah. Frida, you most definitely seen what is happening now in South Africa. What are your thoughts?
It's sad. I'm one person, I would call myself a Pan-Africanist. Before it happened, at least the latest events, we were already talking about United Africa. And that's definitely where we're headed.
Yeah.
And it is actually, Africa has no other option than to unite.
Yeah.
So it's very sad, and I can only hope that in my lifetime that South Africans will learn to embrace their sisters and brothers from other countries.
Yeah. Because I've been watching videos lately, and they are like, we don't have a problem with you. Yeah, we have a problem with our government, so we need to put our shit together, and that's why they want to like.
Remove people from their country.
Yeah, yeah. But I also
Well,
find
they
it
also
sad,
said,
actually.
had some exchange on Facebook with some South Africans, and they were explaining that what they don't like are foreigners who do not have, like,
Jobs.
somewhere to stay, jobs, you know, and then they're building these, I don't know whether it's semi-permanent, like places, littering, changing the whole, you know, face of the city. And this is what they don't like. Like they don't have the right sanitary, you know, whatever, what do you call it? Facilities. Yeah. And you can imagine, so they're building like a slum in a place that there wasn't one before. So, and then I don't know how true it is, but they're also saying that they're involved in crime. So that definitely is not acceptable. If someone goes into another person's country and they're doing that. So it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Do you think other African countries, they have to treat South Africans the same way like that?
No. No, I had an encounter in Nuremberg with a South African sister. And it was very warm, you know, we were talking about everything, and she was also condemning what was happening. No, we cannot pay wrong with wrong. True. Or two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah.
No.
Two wrongs don't make right.
It's true.
So to retaliate, to revenge against South Africa, to isolate South Africans is definitely not the solution. If there is really a problem and they have identified what the problem is, and they really say that those people, you know, those foreigners, they don't want to have in the country, are doing all those things that they've described, then surely those foreigners
should leave.
Should leave.
Yeah.
They should leave, and South Africa should be able to clean up. But yeah, when the story goes on, by the time it reaches the 100 person, it's completely different from what it originally was, or where what the problem was. That's unfortunately the case. But
yeah, because I watched a very disturbing video. Like there are those men dressed in African attires who are now
Zulus.
The Zulus, and they're the Zulus, yeah. So they are walking in the streets, and they're also recording, yeah. So they like come when they see you, they're like hello, and then you say hello, who are you? Fahmy, where do you come from? Then maybe you say I come from Tanzania. What are you doing here? You say I'm a cook. And then they're like, we've given you up to end of this month to leave the country. So I think even if they're justified to do what they're doing, if actually the foreigners are doing those stuff, yeah, I also think they're not using the right channels. Because if I have a job, I have a decent job, I'm working, and there's no need of giving me an ultimatum. So I don't know. But I hope they will.
As I say, this is now the stage where the story has reached the 100th person. And now you notice that the original version of the story has completely changed. That they're now putting everyone in one pot. Even those foreigners who lead a decent life in South Africa. Now they're saying everyone should leave, which is not. It's gotten out of hand. And what I do miss is the South African president condemning it. The South African president has not said anything until now. Ramaphosa.
And I think he should say something, because like right now, South Africa was playing, in the World Cup, and then they lost. And then I wake up the following day and I find the map of Africa with South Africa
cut off.
At first it was funny, and I was like, later I was like, no, this is not the Africa we want. This Africa is not complete without South Africa. So I just hope.
What I think is going to happen, and the solution to this current situation with South Africa is, if we have countries, doing their own, homework, like other African countries developing themselves, where their own citizens have no need necessarily to go to look for livelihoods elsewhere. When we have a kind of equal or balanced development in many regions in Africa, I think this problem is just going to dissolve itself.
It's true.
It will.
Yeah.
Because if we have, our countries developed and able to take care of their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I always say is, it is not that we do not have poor people in Europe or in Western countries.
We do. Yeah.
But the way that they have been able to manage it with the resources that they take, and they've created their own economies, is there is a part of people who are, for whatever reason, not capable to pay for their own livelihoods. These are the people in the social welfare group.
Yeah.
And if you are not able to contain these people, crime increases because they don't want to work or they cannot work. So what do? In our countries, they'll come and steal from you, right? But in countries like Germany, they get everything dished out to them, right? And they have everything like appliances in the house, fridges and washing machines, TVs. They'll just go and say, I need a new TV, they'll get it, right? So when we do our homework in Africa, because every country always has these people. So if we are able to provide for these people within our own countries, they're the same people who will not go to other countries to make trouble.
True.
We'll be providing for them within our own borders.
Yeah.
And that's how this problem with South Africa is going to resolve itself.
Well, as an African woman, what can you say about this? For we African, if we want to visit in another African countries, right, we have to apply for a visa. But for the European people, if they want to go for a holidays in Africa, they're getting visa on arrival. Can you say something about that?
I've always said something about that. Visa was introduced, in my opinion, by the Western nations to stop other people from coming into their countries. And there is this inequality, they have better conditions than we would have, when, like right now I have a German passport. Long time I would just buy my ticket, go get my visa, in Kenya. Nowadays they've made it a little bit more difficult. I have to apply online but still I'm not going to Berlin and introduce myself at the Kenyan embassy. Now, the conditions of visa are still the way they were created by the colonizer. And the colonizer did it from a point of view where they are above the colonized. So that's something we need to review. It has to be both the same conditions. If we cannot come to your country without going to your embassy and paying how much money we pay and not even getting refund because right now it's a business that they're doing. They've taken billions of euros and dollars from Africans and not issuing the visas, although they've pocketed the money. They're doing it even on purpose. They allow a lot of people to apply, knowing very well how many visas they're going to issue per year. So if they have limited the visas they're going to issue to be only 500 in a year, but they're letting 20,000 people apply, and they pocket the money that is paid. It's non-refundable. That money should be refundable because
if I don't get the visa, I get my money back.
So again, it's up to us to change. It will not come from them changing. It's for us to change. We'll get there. It's a part of getting there.
And
We're still learning.
It may not even be in our lifetime, because when we look ahead and we see the development, like we were talking about, the decline of population and the rise of Africa, it may be at the end of this century we won't be there.
Yeah.
But it will happen.
I think the good thing is that it has started.
Yeah,
That
it
is
has.
the most
Yeah.
beautiful
Even
thing, you know.
the
It has
president
started, and
of
we will get there.
Ghana
Mm-hmm.
is visa free now. He made it.
For Africans.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is
I
why I
think
want to
it's-
go and get my Kenyan passport.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, I can
It's
now.
very nice.
I
I
can
can-
apply
You can
now.
even go to Ghana and live your life there.
Yeah, why not?
Mhm.
Yeah, Africa.
Now we are going to make Africa border free. That is the dream of every Pan-Africanist. Yeah, and this is why we've said about what's happened now in South Africa, but
Yeah,
the future is a borderless Africa for Africans.
and we'll get there. So,
It was very nice conversation.
Thank you.
with
what
you.
is your parting shot?
What is my
Parting shot. What do you want to tell our viewers?
Well, I would encourage everyone to invest
Yeah.
in Africa and to know that Africa is the future. I'm fully convinced about that.
Okay. Guys, you heard it.
Don't forget to subscribe. It's very important.
So thank you for staying and watching, and I hope you'll enjoy the video. Please leave a comment, share, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.